Okay, so the second example, we've got the product this time of x and the square root of x plus 7. All right, so remember the whole idea then is you recognize there's a product, so you've got to use integration by parts. Okay, so I get my formula booklet open, page 7, right at the bottom, okay, as you've seen before, and I just look at what I've got here on the left hand side. That here represents my question, yeah? So the u is the first term, so just write it above it, okay? And the dv dx is the second term, okay? And then I've got the dx at the end, okay? So it matches up perfectly with the formula here, okay? So I've got that. Let's put this to one side, and then just like before the steps, I'm going to write my u equals to x, and I'm going to write my dv dx is equal to square root of x plus 7. Okay, so then on this side here, if I've got u equals x, I now need to work out u dx. So I need to differentiate this with respect to x. Easy, yeah? You just get 1. Over here then, because I've got dv dx, I need to find out what the function v was. Okay, so I need to integrate it. Okay, now of course before I integrate this, I need to get this into a form that's more useful for me. So perhaps I'll rewrite this to start with, dv dx as bracket x plus 7 to the power half, yeah, because that's what the root is. Then we can integrate it. Okay, so to get v, integrate this bracket. Now remember then you're going to add 1 to the power. So this will be x plus 7. If I add 1 to the power, that becomes a half. Add 1 is 1.5, so 3 over 2. Divide then by that new power, which is 3 over 2, times by the derivative in there, which is just 1, yeah, because x becomes 1. So this becomes, okay, so this becomes, because there's 3 over 2 on the bottom now, fraction on the bottom, 3 over 2, the bottom number flips up, so this will be 2 on top, bracket x plus 7, 3 over 2 over 3. By the way, I know we've integrated, okay? Don't worry about the constant of integration at the minute, okay? We'll deal with the constant at the end, okay? So you don't have to worry about it at this stage. You might be thinking, because I've integrated, I need to add a constant on there. We won't do that, okay? Our constant will come in right at the end, okay? So don't worry about that for the minute. Okay, so I've got my u du dx, I've got my dv dx, and I've worked out my v now, okay, by integrating. So I go back to my formula page, okay, and I'm going to copy down the formula for integration by parts. So u dv dx with respect to x equals to uv, take away the integral of v du dx with respect to x. Okay, right, so remember then, this is representing my question, okay, because there's my u, there's my dv dx. Okay, so I'm going to just write my question down then to represent my u and my dv dx with respect to x, and then I'm going to follow this formula as it asks me to. So uv means I've got to times u, which is x, by my v, which is all of this, okay? So 2 bracket x plus 7 to the power 3 over 2 all over 3, okay? Take away then the integral. Now in the integral I got v, which is this, yeah? So I'm going to write that again. Times my du dx, which just like the last occasion just comes out to be 1, which is quite nice. So I get, don't forget to write dx at the end. So I get this then. Now perhaps what I'll do, I'll just tidy this up a little bit. So the 2/3 here, 2 divided by 3, we could actually write that as 2/3 like that if you want. And we can put x, and then we'll have the bracket, x plus 7 power 3 over 2. Take away. So in this instance then what I would do is I would take 2/3 outside of the integral, okay? Because it's a constant, we're allowed to take it out, times by 1. And then to finish off, the integration becomes easy because the end there now, in my formula, I've got to integrate this, but it's just a bracket, isn't it? Okay, so that power, and I've just got to add 1 to that power. So I get x plus 7 to the power, well if I add 1 to that, 3/2 becomes 5/2, divide by 5/2, plus c, okay? So then, just tidying this up, I get 2/3 x bracket x plus 7 to the power 3/2. Okay, that 2 then on the bottom of this fraction needs to flip and go up to the top, yeah? So if I take that 2 up to the top, I've got to times by that 2, so I'll get 4, okay? And then on the bottom, notice I've got the 3 in this fraction, I've got the 5 in that fraction, they times together, so I get 15, and so you can write that as 4/15, then the bracket, okay? And then not forgetting the plus c, where we deal with the constant of integration right at the end there. Okay, and it's done. So, you know, we've got quite a sort of nasty looking project here. The answer is quite complex, yeah? But if you take your time and follow the steps with integration by parts, and they're not that difficult, okay, when you break it down, and you're using a formula which is in the formula booklet, you should confidently get that, but take your time obviously because there's lots of different integrations we've got to do. So you've got to take your time and be careful with the powers and the simplification process at the end.